Yeah.
So while I have one parting story before we turn this thing off.
Okay.
So while I'm there, I meet this dude from Connecticut.
All right.
And
Connecticut.
Anyway, super nice guy.
Right.
He owns a house there on the island.
Oh.
And he was telling me, I mean, we just got to chatting at one of the beaches. He was there with his grandkids.
Okay.
His son and their children. And he was telling me that he owns the place. And I asked him, so how often do you come? He goes, I'm usually here about 1 month out of the year.
Oh. Nice.
And I was like, oh, that's awesome.
And then he's what, like Airbnb in the
yeah,
place?
he's
okay.
and I was like, so it's a vacation rental the rest of the time? He goes, oh, yeah. And I said, how's that doing for you? And he goes, oh, it does pretty well. Mm-hmm. I said, really? And I was like, give me an idea. And he goes, I'll tell you this. He goes, I usually pay around $1 million every year in HOA fees.
Okay, what?
Yeah. And I was like, holy crap, dude.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And I said, you're still cash flowing on this thing? He goes, oh, yeah, it's doing pretty good.
Oh, my goodness.
And I was like, oh, my gosh. And, like, not only that, he's taking a month off the calendar every year.
Right.
So, like.
For him.
Jeez.
Jeez.
So while I'm talking with him, he's asking me about what I do and like where I'm from, what I do, all this kind of stuff. And I'm from Texas. I kill bugs. No big deal. And he goes, oh, so did you hear about the big scandal here? And I was like, no, what are you talking about? And he goes, you didn't hear about the company that killed all those people?
What?
And I was like, what are you talking about? And he goes, yeah, there was this vacation rental that this company was treating, and there was a family staying in the unit above, and they killed a bunch of them.
What?
And now they're being sued and,
well, yeah.
and all this kind of stuff. So, and I was like, that's the craziest thing I've ever heard. And so, like, I was talking to my wife about it, and she goes, well, that sounds insane. I mean, surely we would have heard something about that. And I was like, I don't know, but I'm going to research it when I get home.
Yeah.
So I did.
And here it is.
So this was kind of like a game of telephone. No one was killed.
Okay.
But the father in the family was permanently disabled and what is it where you can't walk and what's it called?
Cerebral palsy?
No. It's like when
There's so many options.
No, it's
to go with.
I can't think of the word. Anyway, he can't ever walk again.
Yeah, he's like a paraplegic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And like it looks like he's got like severe like arthritis in his hands and all this kind of
paralyzed.
stuff. Thank you, paralyzed.
Oh.
Anyway, and then the kids were paralyzed for a good long while, and recovered somewhat. But like everyone in the family was injured in some form or fashion. So all that was true.
This was Terminix. I'm gonna put it out there.
So
it says it right here in the article.
It's in the article. So we're not like
no.
Anyway,
I'm not defaming them.
No. And the case it happened back in 2015. Okay.
Right.
The case with the family, I don't think, was settled until 2018, and they ended up having to pay them $96 million. Jeez. And the reason it was so bad is not just because they injured the family and they did an improper treatment that caused the injury, but they were using a pesticide that had been banned.
Ooh.
And it hadn't just like been banned like
methylbromide.
Yeah, it hadn't just been banned like a month before. It'd been banned for years. And so the guy that was like the manager of that Terminix branch was
deep doo-doo.
Yeah, so he went to prison, but he only went to prison for like 12 months.
What?
Yeah.
So you kill a group of people.
He didn't kill anybody.
Oh,
he didn't kill anybody.
Okay, look, let's wind that back.
Yeah. The story I initially got
severely hurt people.
Yeah, permanently severely hurt people.
Jeez.
On vacation, and just insane, man.
Yeah.
I also understand how it happened. I know exactly what happened.
Sure.
But without even having to read the article, I knew what had happened. Because while I was there are termite colonies everywhere.
Oh, really?
Everywhere.
Ugh.
They're in the trees, man.
Oh.
There's a video I'm going to be posting not too long from now of one that I found that I poked.
Okay.
And they are, I believe they are, they're either dampwood or drywood termites. I don't know which ones they are, but it's one of the two.
Okay.
And they are these kinds of termites. They actually have them in the heights right here in Houston.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
They are these termites that come up out of the ground and then they go up and build their colony above.
Oh.
And then they they draw from the ground and then build their carton up.
Oh, jeez.
And the only way to get rid of them is to fumigate.
Okay.
And so what happened is the building below had termites in it,
Uh-huh.
and they were fumigating it, and those fumes got up into that top unit and just waxed those people, man.
Wow.
And because methyl bromide is nothing to mess around with, man.
No.
It's got the skull and crossbones on it. That stuff will kill you.
Right. Well, yeah.
And so come to find out, like I started reading a bunch of articles on it because it's 2015. I mean, there's been a lot of information.
Sure.
The case was just settled with the Virgin Islands. The Virgin Islands actually ended up suing Terminix.
Okay.
And Terminix had to pay the Virgin Islands $3 million.
Oh, my goodness.
And part of the reason was because Terminix wasn't just operating on St. John. They were in St. John, St. Thomas, St. Croix, Puerto Rico.
Wow.
I mean, like he was managing all those and using methyl bromide. They were able to backtrack and see that he had used it all over those islands.
Oh my goodness.
For years.
Ugh.
And he just claimed ignorance. He's like, I didn't know.
What?
I didn't know.
That doesn't work.
Well, clearly.
That yeah. That's like walking up to someone shooting them and going, I didn't know that would happen.
I just
Like
didn't
it's
know.
like it's the George syndrome. Was that wrong?
Was that wrong?
Because if I would have known that was wrong, right?
Should I not have done
Should
that?
yeah, exactly. Come on, George.
Isn't that the one where he sleeps with the secretary?
Yes.
Or no, it's the cleaning lady. He
Yeah,
sleeps
the
with
cleaning lady. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a cleaning lady in his office. Was that wrong? Yeah, it's so funny.
Oh man. So anyway, that was a story that I came across while I was there. Just absolutely insane.
Yeah.
And let's see. What's the name of this? Oh, I'm sorry. I said 97 million. It was 87
It was
million.
87 million, but then they had to pay $10,000 in fines.
Yes.
On top of the settlement, and then there was also the $3 million
To the Virgin
to
Islands.
the Virgin Islands. So you're at 100 million.
Yeah.
That's where that number 100 million came from.
Yeah.
They were like, we're gonna make this $100 million.
Well, and let me tell you, they're not there anymore. I found an article several years later about Terminix decides to end its relationship with the Virgin Islands, and I'm like, I wonder why.
No, I think they ended your relationship more than you ended your relationship.
Well, I mean, look, even if you wanted to stay, I mean, like, one, 87 million is a bloodbath.
Sure.
Two, just the fact that a guy who lives there 1 month out of the year is talking about it almost 10 years later.
Yep.
And the only part of the story he got wrong was that they killed them.
Right.
Everything else he knew exactly right.
Wow.
And they're still talking about it.
Yep.
That's crazy.
That's a big deal.
So reputation is gone. Like those, and here's the other thing, man, is, obviously Terminix is doing fine. They're a big company.
Yep.
And like I've worked with a lot of guys that have come out of Terminix. Mm-hmm. They do good training.
Sure.
They have good people over there.
Yeah.
But what would concern me more than anything is the Virgin Islands is a tourist destination.
Right.
Where now everybody that lives there thinks of them as evil and will take the opportunity when given to tell you that story.
Good luck.
Yeah. And so like those people who go to that island and hear those stories are taking those stories back to their hometown.
Yeah.
And so that bad reputation is infected across the United States, man.
Yeah.
And like we're not trying to like bolster that at all. It was just crazy that that's the story I heard while I was on the island.
Right.
So
yeah. I mean, we'll take this down if Terminix wants us to, but they're going to need to contact us first.
Right, I mean, call ABC and all the 20 other news stations that carry this.
We'll just do it for a fee. Is what I'm saying.
We're blackmailing them.
We can be bribed. But it's less than 87 million. I'll put it out there.
Dude, the pictures of the dad in the wheelchair, man.
Oh, I know, dude. Just breaks your heart.
Okay, the part that pisses me off is this is something that's completely preventable,
right?
And should have never happened.
Nope. Well, and there's also like yes, the person who is running it should have known.
Yeah.
However, he's buying this chemical in droves.
He's getting it somewhere.
And it's coming across a statement. Mm-hmm. To Terminix,
like
they know. They can't. And surely that's where a lot of that money is like going. No. This goes straight up to the top.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, and like just, I mean, from a perspective of a guy that's in the industry, like this is why it's so important to find a company that has been around a while.
Yeah.
And again, Terminix has been around a while, so like they check that box.
Sure.
But that someone that you can have a personal interaction with, that you can know that this is someone that's going to act with integrity and act in your best interest.
Right.
Not necessarily, because look, there are chemicals in our industry that make our jobs way easier.
Sure.
And get quicker results. That doesn't mean that it's the best thing for your situation.
Right.
Or that it's the most ethical thing. Because look, there are still guys out there talking about chlordane to this day. Chloridane's been banned for more than 20 years.
Yeah.
And I still run across guys who are, I got some chlordane hiding in my grandpa's barn, and I'm still using it. And it's like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah, come on.
Like, no, was it a great product? Yeah, it was an incredible product.
Right.
But like, it sits in the soil forever, which is why they got rid of it.
Sure.
And so like, you want somebody that's gonna do right by you, but like is also looking out for like your family's health. I mean, this is why like our onboarding process for some people is just like invasive. You know, because like we ask a lot of personal questions before we come into your house.
Sure.
You know, and for some people that's surprising.
Sure.
For some people that's encouraging.
Yeah.
But for a lot of people who have had interactions with other companies, it's like, why are you asking me all these things?
Right.
It's like,
because we care.
Because we care, and we don't want to do anything to like hurt you and your family.
Yeah, I mean,
or your pets,
or your animals. Right. Exactly. There's so many things that you need to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or that I need to be made aware of, so as to like take better care of you.
That's right.
And that's what it comes down to at the end of the day.